What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Chi-Town Blitz episode. I got my brother, I got my guy, Jacob Huff, my other older brother. How we doing today, man?
Doing good, man. I'm excited. Let's talk ball.
It's always great when we can get on the pod and talk when the Bears are doing good. Because nobody wants to talk shit about them consistently, talk about the misery of this franchise, you know? So it looks like things are trending in the right direction. Got another victory. Let's, start with, our takeaways from the game against the Saints. What are some things you was, thinking after this game?
You hit the nail on the head. It's nice walking into Victory Monday. It's Tuesday today, but Victory Monday with 4 straight wins. I mean, wherever we're at in the season, that's always good to hang your hat on. It feels like a culture is shifting. And that's been the biggest issue with the Bears, just the culture and going into the end of games, close games, and always losing them. And we've gone into the last 4 games, and each of them have been close, and we've won all of them. So it feels like a cultural change that is happening here in Chicago, and you can feel it in the city. Everybody's pretty excited about it.
It's nice because some of these games, I feel like they're trying to see how close they can make it and test how good they can be in these games, with some of the shit they be doing.
Absolutely. I'm ChatGPTing right now when the last 4-game win streak the Bears have had. Give me 1 second.
This is the longest win streak by any team in the NFL right now, too, by the way.
Right. Win streak. The Chicago.
It's Chicago.
They're giving me the current one.
I think it's 2018 was the last time.
That would make sense.
Yeah, 2018 is the last time they had a winning streak like this, a 4-game winning streak.
Yep, 2018. But yeah, no, I'm excited about the Bears doing good work. Seems like we're playing really good complementary football, which is something that I talk about a lot, and doesn't make a lot of sense to non-football people. But guys like ourselves, guys who know ball, complementary football is very important. How your defense feeds off your offense, how your offense feeds off your defense, and that seems to be at all-time high right now.
And it's nice, like, how they're winning these games. It's rotating, whether it's the offense is playing well against Dallas, and then a game like the Saints. It's nice when you can win games when your quarterback is playing like shit. He's playing bad. And you could get that run game going. You got that defense giving you 4 takeaways every game, it seems like, in the last couple games. So I just think how well one unit is able to, carry the other when they don't have it. It's been really nice to see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself.
So, top performers from this game. Who was somebody you think was an MVP in this one?
Thought Swift had a really good game. It's nice to see that we're committed to the run. Kyle Monungai looked like he had a solid performance too. He got more carries on Sunday. TJ Edwards had a really good game.
Yeah,
man.
He was balling.
There. TJ Edwards had a really solid game. Still got some things to clean up from the back end. I thought based off the game, we had him for the first half. And when you got a young quarterback, you got to punish a guy like that who's out there and he's unsure of his reads. You got to capitalize on turnovers, which we did. But we got to start fast, accelerate in the middle, finish strong on the back end and in the DB room. And I'm hard on DBs because I play DB, and I think based off the film, we did a lot of good things, but there's definitely some things we got to clean up. There's still miscues, still missed opportunities. That we go. Trust me when I say this, and this is most NFL teams. You go as far as your DBs allow you to go, because it is such a hard position to play, and it is a position that allows you on the offensive side of the ball and really the whole team to control the game. Because if you can keep an offense from converting 3rd and 5 pluses, because that's the job of the DBs and pass rushers, but the DBs have to show up in those downs, and that's how you win games. You get off the field, you keep those third down conversions to a minimum, and you you get off the field. That's on the DBs, in my opinion, and we go as far as our DBs allow us to go.
How do you think Kevin Byard and like guys like Al Harris have made this defensive backfield play to the level they've been playing? I mean, Stevenson's been great before the injury. Nashawn Wright had another interception. So, what are your thoughts on those two names?
Kevin Byard, his experience has been refreshing for us. You definitely saw that in this past game. He should have 2 picks. He dropped
Yeah,
one of them. This is part of the mess up. We got to have every single one of those, and he knows that. But yeah, he has been a fantastic piece in our back end, and so we just need to continue his leadership. And I didn't see it earlier in the year. I'm going back on what I said before, but yeah, I'm starting to see more leadership out of him, and um, we definitely need more leadership on the defense.
it's nice TJ came back because I feel like that's one of our leaders. He's been great.
Another very experienced guy. He's played a lot of football. He's played a lot of good football. So, you know, not like he's not going to wow you with his athleticism, but he will wow you with his playmaking ability and his ability to diagnose an offense pre-snap. That's what we have to. That's what has to carry us into the play. It's just his ability to read offenses. He's going to have to hold the candlestick for our defense moving forward.
Hmm. I agree. And yeah, I mean, this secondary, even without Jalen Johnson, we've been able to hold up, which has been pretty impressive. We got like eight interceptions in the last 4 weeks in this winning streak. We're holding teams down to a low third down conversion rate, and the sacks have been there. So, I mean, personally, from this defense, what's been your biggest bright spot? What's been your favorite point from this defense so far that you've seen?
Just a bend don't break mentality. Do what we have to do to win games. Late in the stretch in this past game and the past couple of games, we've gotten stops. That's one thing that you have to do as a defense, and it speaks to your culture. Like, we're not going to give up a touchdown. We need to have it now, and you execute. And that's what we've done. So even when the cards have been against us, we've seemingly showed up. And, football in the NFL, it's really hard to win games. I don't care who you're playing. Week in and week out. Obviously, some teams are way better than others, get that. But still, winning games in the NFL will always be hard, no matter who you are. And I think we need to realize that. And so, when you're going late in when you're in late in the stretch of the game, and you got to have a stop. We've seemingly been able to do that lately, so I want to keep that going.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I mean, I think the big thing from this team, the thing that I've seen the most is just the difference in coaching. We don't have every guy out there. We're not fully healthy, but you see drastically how better this team is with great coaching. I mean, Dennis
Okay.
Allen's taken some players to a different level. Dom Robinson was one of the worst players on this defense, and now he's making plays every now and then in the games. And offensively, you see other guys take that next step. Uh, so personally, to you, is Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen the best coaching combo that the Bears have had in a while?
I think so. Without having recency bias, um, I think it has been very, very prominent, and encouraging to see the way they've been able to win together as of late. It's and I've said this before, but the coaching position, the coaching role is unlike any other sport.
Mhm.
Football. It is so important to have a good coach, to have a coach that, institutes the narrative, institutes the culture, but also his ability to make decisions on the field. Football is human chess at full speed. And And unlike any other sport, the coaches have such an impact on the game mid-game. It like between the 53 and a half yard markers and the 120 end zone markers between in the field, the coaches have such an impact on the game with play calling, decision making, everything, so and how preparations and your coach is everything. And so
Mhm.
having Ben Johnson here, he seems like he knows what he's doing. We went 0-2 the first 2 weeks. He didn't panic. Nobody panicked. This is a long season, and we lose two games to division rivals, and nobody panicked. And hey, we're just gonna keep our head down, and we'll figure it out. And they have been figuring it out. So we got some good teams coming up on the on the schedule, and so we're gonna get tested a lot here,
Uh-huh.
and it's gonna be nice to see how we keep this momentum going, because momentum is very important in football. It's gonna be nice to see if we can keep that going.
And I think we can. We got some good games ahead. But yeah, with this coaching staff, I'm fully bought in. Dennis Allen's done a great job. Ben Johnson's done a great job. The team looks bought in. Now, one question I had too. Um, we see Ryan Poles get a lot of flack. We give him a lot of flack too, through our group chat, and say, he's made some terrible decisions. But now with the coaching staff that we have now, does that like change how his roster building has been? We see some players kind of like turn things around now. With Al Harris, Eric Bieniemy's got this running back room playing well. Now with the perfect coaching, staff, does it make some of his moves look a lot better now? And does it change how we feel about his roster building?
It does a little bit. I'm higher on polls now than I was 4 weeks ago. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, it does take time. It takes time for these players to be able to meld together. You got to be patient when it comes to roster building, and that's one thing that's hard to be as a Bears fan, is patient. But
Yeah.
it's coming out on the other end, and we're seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. We're seeing some of his vision. you know um I would still like to see Colson Loveland get more opportunities in this offense. I would like to see Caleb lean on Colson and um and Komet in the offense, because that tight end quarterback connection,
It's
as we've
crucial.
seen, is valuable, and we need to lean on it. And they're good players too, so why not? And I love how we are committed to the run. Doesn't
Mhm.
matter what it looks like. Doesn't matter if it's a 1 yard gain, because those 1 yard gains at the beginning of the game, lead into the 10-yard gains, the 20-yard gains, and then we break one like towards the end of the game. That's how football works. You start to wear down the defense. You start to get those third and two conversions more often. You play on time, you play on schedule. And as we've seen with the Lions, that's what the Lions play. First few drives, we're seeing the running back number 0, what is his name? Can't believe I'm forgetting his name, but first few drives he's getting 1 or 2 yard gains, and then he breaks one for 20, and then the next drive he breaks one for 75. That's how you play. That's how you play offense in a balanced offense. You run the ball even when it seems like it's not working. It's working. Just let the game control the time of possession, and you're going to break one. And then once you do, now the defense has lost all confidence in being able to stop what
Yeah.
you have on. So, that's one thing that you definitely have to focus on. It's just, if you're going to be committed to the run, commit to it. Don't forget that it's a patient process. Your offensive line is going to create those gaps for one big one to break.
Mhm. Now, it's crazy that, talking about the run game, comparing it to Detroit, I mean, we see, Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs have a very nice tandem over there. Ben Johnson had that. And the Bears, last week against the Saints, they had 2 running backs with 6 yards per carry with 10 or more attempts for the first time since Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen. Do the Bears have a little Montgomery and Gibbs now with Monangai and Swift, or is it too early?
I think it's too early to say that. Yeah, those two backs back in 2018 were really good. Man, what could have been with Cohen? What could
Yeah,
have been?
he was a fucking dog. Ben
Yeah,
Johnson would have cooked with him.
I completely agree. He was our Debo Samuel. He was our Tyreek Hill. It's just sad even talking about him because you
Yeah.
saw the potential he had and what we were able to do. You know, after he even left, you just knew we had something special with him. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not ready to say that. I think we're going in the right direction. Manungai is a really good back, someone that we can rely on.
Mhm.
Now he's no Monty. He's no Monty yet. At least he's got some growth, obviously. But I do like the fact that he um, he doesn't particularly like to fumble the football,
Yeah.
which which is something you can rely on every day of the week. Give him the ball as much as you want, as long as he does what he's supposed to do. As long as he averages 4.5 yards a carry, you know, we can win with that.
And he's a
Absolutely.
he's a 7th round pick. We're seeing the value immediately, and I think with giving him touches and giving him, opportunity, you make Swift have fresh legs, and we've seen Swift make some great plays in the 4th quarter down the stretch. So as long as we keep Swift's legs fresh, Manungai's giving us 4 to 5 yards a pop. Like Bieniemy's been on him about getting 4 yards a pop. I think this backfield has potential. I do want to see the back. Wanted to see in more a little balance like it was against the Saints. And who knows, Monangai could be a fantasy guy. If you need a running back, go ahead.
I do need to run back badly.
Monangai, hey, might claim his ass because who knows? I mean,
Who
people have
knows? Yeah.
Gibbs and Monty in their fantasy team. I mean, people get both Monty and Gibbs in fantasy. So I really like what I've seen from him so far. Swift, are you invested in Swift again now? Are you trusting in him after 2 straight 100-yard performances?
Yeah, yeah. I always thought Swift was a good player. Um, I thought his production at the beginning of the season was questionable. Excuse me, especially how many times we ran with him.
Yeah,
But football's a team sport, man. You gotta feed off each other. The offensive line has to start to meld together, and they are running, blocking their asses off.
yeah.
They are run blocking, and they are figuring that shit out. And you just knew that the potential was there. You just couldn't really like figure out like what the issue was. You had a few different miscues. They just had to come together. I mean,
Yeah.
and also Caleb is getting more time back there to throw. It's becoming a unit that is proud of themselves, and that's what you need on any football team: a offensive line that is a solid rock that you can stand on, and to have that. Every guy in that offensive line room has to trust one another, has to be sacrificial, and they,
Yeah.
like they have to sacrifice. They have to sacrifice themselves for the team. It's a selfless position. It's a thankless position, and they've come together, and it's really really cool to see.
Yeah, and these lanes are getting open. The wide zone schemes working, running out wide, and then you have both tackles playing at a high level in the run blocking game. So I think Swift looks good. The run game looks like one of the best in the NFL the last 2 weeks. Do you think Swift could run for 1K and have like a Philly season like he had before coming to Chicago in this offense?
Two straight 100-yard performance. He's on his way. Rome's on his way to have 1K too. I mean, I think at this particular time in the season, we're still what 6 weeks in, going to week 7 next week. Um, sky's the limit. There's a lot of weeks left. We got 10 more weeks left. I think he can end up having 1,500, and so can Rome. Uh, what I want to see out of Caleb is just his ability to take off the chains, man. Just take off
Yeah,
the chain. Just play ball. Just
exactly.
you know how to play ball. Just go back there and do what you did versus the Cowboys. 4 passing touchdowns. Yeah, it's just like, forget everything else, just go out there and play football, and he's able to do it. And he's able to get those, playmakers the ball. We gotta be better in the red zone. Um, we gotta punch it in when we need to. But yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, we have the potential to have a Cowboys-esque offense. We have the playmakers. Uh, Luther Burden has been very encouraging. I've never really seen a receiver out there that just looks hungry. In a Bears uniform, that just looks super hungry to get the ball. And he doesn't get a whole lot of targets. His target share hopefully will end up growing. It's tough in a balanced offense like ours, but um, you know the the kid wants and deserves the ball, and we should get it to him. And Caleb will, phenomenal athlete. We just gotta give him the ball more.
Exactly.
Um, Target share is gonna be tough when you got such a deep receiver room like the Bears have, and it's a balanced offense too. But I feel like he deserves and needs the ball more, and I think we should get it to him.
Yeah, and I mean, how concerned are you with the whole DJ Moore situation? Him not getting as many touches, like his season not being. I mean, you see the difference with him and Rome, how they are getting involved in the offense.
I'm not concerned about it at all. I think DJ, from what I hear from the facility, being around Alice Hall, he's such a selfless guy. I think he would much rather win games than go for 100 yards receiving and ten receptions and 2 touchdowns. I think he'd much rather win a game than have that happen and lose. So obviously he wants the ball. Every receiver wants the ball. He deserves to get more targets, but gotta win. I mean, at the end of the day, let's win games, man. Let's win games, and then good things will happen. He'll start getting the ball more, and we start to become a team that other teams respect,
Yeah,
and with that respect, what happens is you start to see defensive coordinators change their game plans. What happens is you start to see less man to man, less blitzes, a lot more zone, a lot more opportunities for Caleb to just sit in the pocket on first and second and 10 and pick a defense
dice him
apart
up. Yeah,
sitting in zone. Because man to man, I guess, especially good versus good back ends, man to man, you got to be able to play man to man as a defense, because man to man allows you to blitz, allows you to change the picture for quarterbacks, allows you to be aggressive, and it's harder on young quarterbacks like Caleb to be able to you know throw against man-to-man defenses, especially good ones, because it's a inconsistent variable. You don't know who's going to be exactly open. You know who's going to win their one-on-one matchups. Rather in zone,
yeah.
uh, you can pre-snap, read a zone defense, know where guys are going to be, and analyze your offensive play. And you know what windows are going to be open. That's what the progression is. That's what you do when you go through progression. But a man-to-man, boom, guys are blitzing. You don't know who's going to win every single one-on-one matchups, not only in the back
Uh
end,
huh.
but in front of you in the offensive line. You don't know how much time you're going to have. All of that
Less time
becomes
to
a lot
think too.
less time to think. All that becomes a lot more difficult to play quarterback. And so, with defenses starting to respect, Caleb's ability to throw against man to man, starting to respect the ability for DJ to get open in those scenarios for those guys to win their one-on-one matchups. You start to see more zone, and that's when you start to see more target share.
Hmm. I think Ben Johnson, this offense will feast against zone. Uh, but how are you feeling about this offensive line now? I mean, Theo Benedict with the change of him over Braxton Jones, I think the offensive line has played better. Chase Young whooped Theo Benedict a couple times, batting some passes down. But run game has been huge with this offensive line that we have right now starting.
Yeah. Yeah, they like I said, I can't say enough about how they've changed the narrative with the run game. Pass blocking has been excellent too, as of lately. I think Caleb has gotten on average a couple more seconds per play to throw the ball. Pass blocking, you can't control that, especially with a shorter quarterback. Caleb's 6 foot. Like that's still a win in my book.
Yeah.
And it's just an unfortunate thing on offense. It's one of those variables that the defense just wins. If they get pass blocked at the line of scrimmage, you can't really control that. Caleb can sort of control it a little bit, but it's tough because, like I said, he's a shorter quarterback.
Mhm.
That's going to happen. That happens with tall quarterbacks. It just happens. But I think, all by and large, the offensive line has been very encouraging. It's something that we've definitely struggled with
Yeah.
over the course of the last 10 years. And Theo, you're not gonna win every rep.
Mhm.
You're not gonna bat 1,000. So, and Chase Young seems to be, playing a little bit better, playing at a higher caliber than he has his whole career. But like I said, you're not gonna win every matchup. The Darnell Wright has been very,
He's
very
been all
encouraging to me.
pro level, bro. He's been phenomenal.
All pro level. I saw a block not last week, but 2 weeks ago, versus Vegas. Probably one of the best blocks I've ever seen it make and run on a toss, pulling toss sweep, it was a toss sweep, and he blocked. He blocked two guys on one play and created the most perfect alley for Swift to run for 30 yards. And that's the stuff that I geek out on. People geek out on the fantasy points that Swift got, 15 fantasy points on that play. I geek out on the block that allowed that to happen
Right.
because without that block, and most tackles aren't making that block, without that block, the play doesn't happen. It stopped on maybe for a tackle for loss.
And it's crazy.
It was one of the greatest plays I think I've ever seen on a football field, and it's something that nobody even noticed, nobody even talked about, nobody even said anything
Uh-huh.
about on the broadcast. Nobody said, but I saw that play that Darnell Red had. It's probably one of the best plays I've ever seen, and not only just a tackle make, but any player make. So you gotta appreciate your line. And you gotta give them their flowers, and the whole group has deserved their flowers as of lately.
Yeah, and I think Darnell Wright, I mean, Ben Johnson was talking about he could be our Panay Sewell this year. And you see Joe Tooney, that's probably one of Ryan Pohl's best moves. Joe Tooney hasn't allowed a single sack. The fact that we haven't said nothing about Joe Tooney is a great thing. We have not said a chatter.
It's a thankless position. It's a selfless ass position. It's he just goes to work. We call him lunch pail guys.
Yeah.
Guys who just shut the fuck up, bring their lunch pail to work, and they don't complain. They just show up to work every day. And he's a lunch pail guy. And he doesn't need anybody to congratulate him or thank him. He just wants to go win games. And he's not complaining about anything. He's just showing up to work. And a guy like that changes the narrative with your offensive line. And when your highest offensive lineman is Darnell Wright, who's a younger guy, and then you got other guys who've been in the league for 5+ years, it's tough. It's a tough dynamic.
Yeah.
I think in any football room. And as you know, like the guy who gets paid the most should be the leader. But it's hard to be the leader when you got guys with 3, 4, 5+ years more experience on you, and maybe even at the time are better than you. You have more potential, but they're better than you because of what they offer with their experience.
Right.
It's tough for Darnell to take over as a leader, as a vocal leader when you have that going on. But that's with a guy like Tooney being in there with his experience, this leadership, he seems like he's taken over selflessly.
Oh yeah, I love to see it. That was like you couldn't have pictured a better person to add into this offensive line. And I mean, our offensive line coach has been great too. Former Saints guy, worked with Sean Payton. He's had multiple Pro Bowlers on his units. He's done a great job with this offensive line. The only thing, Drew Dahlman, I mean, his snaps and shit. I mean, other than that, he's been solid though, from what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna have everybody. There's gonna be some weak links in your chain. Not to call him a weak link, but like clearly some guys are better than others. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about overall how well are we pulling at the rope. How well is our tug of war versus the defensive line? how far past that red line are we going? You know, how well are we working together? How far are we digging in the ground and pulling that tug of rope? Because that's all it is. It's just offensive line run game versus the defensive line run stopping game. It's just tug of war. That's all it is. You know, you got some guys who are playing better than others. You got some guy, but by and large, one guy on one end of the ball could have a fantastic block, but your guard can whiff, and he's the reason why they gave up a tackle for loss. You know what I mean? It takes everybody. It doesn't matter about one person. It takes every single person to win that tug of war match. And um, that's why I think football is the greatest game ever, man. It's such a team sport. I mean, it takes everybody. It is controlled chaos. It is a symphony of choreography. It is a beautiful sport of violence that,
Yeah.
is unmatched in any other sport.
It really is. And
It's such a beautiful
when
sport. I love
everybody's
it.
in sync too, it's harmony. It's perfect. We see a win streak like we're seeing right now when everybody's in sync, when everybody's moving at the beat of the same drum. Now back to this defense though. Dennis Allen, I had some thoughts about, bro. Is he better than Eberflus defensive mind wise? Is he getting more out of this defense than Eberflus was?
Eberflus was good
He
defensive mind,
was.
man. Yeah, he was really, really. I mean, very underrated. What we were able to do, not able, but like what we did versus some of the teams that we had that we should have got blown out in some scenarios with the quarterback we had.
Yeah.
And we're seeing how poor he is playing now. Thank God he's not a Bear anymore. And maybe I'm biased, but you know, it was tough, watching week in and week out, us not being able to score points or us not having a passing game.
Hmm.
But we still were in every game. Like Eberflus definitely had deep. Like we're Chicago Bears, we're supposed to have a good defense. Typically you bet the under, always have a good defense, and so it's nice to see that that culture is still with us right now, and we're still in it every game. Um, but that's a tough question. I want to lean on Dennis Allen right now because I feel like we had better pieces with Eberflus. I mean,
Yeah.
Roquan Smith. We had a lot of really good pieces with Eberflus, and I think we have less of those pieces now. We have less talent, but I think we're playing just as well. With
Takeaways too. I mean, Eberflus was getting a lot of takeaways. He was, this defense was making a lot of plays. That run we went on, where we went like won 7 games right before Eberflus bought himself another year. With the year before Caleb,
Yeah,
this defense went on a run. We were destroying teams. That was nice, but as sustainable as it wasn't as sustainable. This seems
no,
sustainable right now. This defense is
it
playing more
does.
aggressive too.
It does. And whenever you're winning close games like that, remember, like every week, they would be the worst team in the league. The Chiefs would play against the worst team in the league, worst team in their division, and they would go to wire with them. They might have even been down a
Yeah.
couple points going into the last few seconds of the game. And it seemed week over week, they were always down going into the last 2 minutes of the game. And what happened? 2 minute offense. You give Mahomes the ball, and they figured out a way to win. Teams like that, they don't really care what goes on, what went on, before in the past 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, where are we? Obviously we're gonna fight the whole game, but it's a next play mentality. And when you have a quarterback like Mahomes, when you have like people that are gonna just get you over the hump, when it's time to make a play, we have a clutch player. And so I hope we have that in Caleb, but it takes the whole team. And like we get down to these last minutes of the game, we got to get a stop, and we get a stop. We're going to play some better teams
Yeah.
coming up, especially in our division, where we're going to get to the last 2 minutes of the game, and we're going to be down, and we're going to need Caleb Williams to do some Mahomes esque
Shit.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna need we're definitely going to be down in a lot of these games coming up, and we're going to need him to show up and take over the game and you know do what he's getting paid to do.
Yeah, and I don't care if he's like up and down during the game, as long as he's got the ice in his veins at the fourth quarter. That I mean,
That's what we get.
for right now, obviously you want to see the offense be more consistent. You want to see more
Yeah.
games like Dallas, but as long as he like, I mean, against was it Vegas? One these some of these wins that we've had, he's had a game winning drive. He's put together, and last year he put a lot of game winning drives together. But then our defense couldn't get a stop. Our defense gave up a touchdown, so it's nice to see. I think this defense though gives me confidence that we're gonna have time to figure things out offensively. And you see the takeaways be a big thing. Can this defense be as good as 2018? I know I said about Ibrahim, but can it be as good as 2018 with the takeaways? Because right now the Bears had 36 takeaways in 2018. They're on pace right now to have 45. Obviously, that's probably inflated with the last 3 games, but they're on pace to have a better season than 2018 takeaways wise.
And we're gonna play some better competition soon here. The past 3 weeks, the competition hasn't been there. Vegas is clearly not.
They're
Uh,
deterring.
they've exited the chat. Yeah, and the Commanders are a good program, but there's they've been hit really hard with the injury bug,
Yeah,
obviously.
their downfall's
And
coming.
seems like he's in a sophomore slump.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion. I mean, you guys could disagree. I haven't even looked at the numbers, but it seems like he's in a sophomore slump because they're not playing what the record certainly isn't there. So the competition that we played against, and like I said, I don't want to have the recency bias based off who we played. But like I said too, it's hard to win games in the NFL. I'm very encouraged to see us win games. So you just got to take it step at a time.
Mhm.
And like I said, once we get into these tougher matchups, once we get line up versus Green Bay, once we line up again versus the Vikings and the Lions, we're gonna see exactly what this team's made of. And to answer your question, we may not be as good as that 2018
Talent
defense.
wise. Yeah.
I do think our offense is better, but there's still time to grow. Currently, I don't think we're as good as they were, but like I said, the defense can continue to evolve. Hopefully, we'll get some guys back. Did they say Jalen's out for the season?
He's not out for the season yet. Hopefully, there's hope he could return at the end, but I mean, we'll see.
Out for a significant amount of time. So yeah, hopefully we keep guys like Tyreek healthy. Yeah, we're gonna need everybody. We're gonna need everybody to be as good as that team. We got to stay healthy, and we got to
Detroit
just
looks
play.
good. We're gonna need everybody for Detroit too. And
um,
they clapped us.
yeah. They're just all around a good team. They're like almost like the way they play football is exactly what we're trying to do. I know that Ben Johnson has taken everything he's learned from Campbell, taken all of the key elements of their winning structure, and he's trying to incorporate it into the Bears. And we're not there yet. We're not quite there yet, but I love the fact that we're committed to the run like the Lions are.
Yeah.
I love the fact that we're super balanced and we have the playmakers to make plays offensively. And like the Lions right now, they're on their second, third stringers with their defense,
Yeah. And
man.
it
And they
doesn't matter.
put incredible in performance versus Tampa Bay, who walking into this game, we thought it was impossible for them for anybody to stop their passing attack.
And they got a
They
Buka back in that game too. They got guys back for that game.
they basically, laughed at at their passing game because Baker couldn't get the ball off, and that game was controlled from the beginning to the end of the game by the Lions. It was very impressive to watch.
And they did it against the Baltimore Ravens. They, stifled them. I think Monday Night Football again too. So they've put some great performances. Their defense is making me nervous for sure. But the Bears, the difference between us and 2018, no Khalil Mack on this team. You think Poles makes the call? Trey Hendrickson, Bradley Chubb, one of these pass rushers to get into the mix? Would you do it if you're Poles right now? Because that's the only thing I think we're missing if we get Jalen back too.
I don't think we do that.
Could go
Doesn't
all
really seem
in
like
on year one.
his style. On the defensive side of the ball, it doesn't really seem like his style. But I think from a Poles perspective, we don't want to pull all our chips in the basket for this year. That would be next year. We got to win in the draft. I mean, we haven't been winning as of lately in the draft. But when you draft guys to better teams, which we are becoming, those draft picks tend to start looking better.
Yeah.
We haven't hit in the draft because we haven't had a good team. It's at the end of the day, it's still team sport. So, to ask a rookie to come in and change the whole narrative of our team, of our unit, like, it's a lot to ask.
Yeah.
So that's why it seems like we haven't hit in the draft. As the team gets better, we have the right coach. Seems like we have the right quarterback. Those draft picks are starting looking a lot better. But I say all that to say, no, I don't think we do any midseason trades this year. Nothing groundbreaking.
Poles has made a trade every deadline, but I could get it. I could see it maybe not being groundbreaking.
Not like a groundbreaking trade, like like bringing in a big name guy for a few draft picks. No, I don't see that.
Yeah.
I don't think we're putting all our chips in the basket for this year. I think if we do that, it's going to be next year. And start off with, if we start off hot next year, and we want to be extremely competitive, that's when you got to strike when the iron's hot. When your team looks like the Lions.
And right when Caleb's still on his rookie contract too.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely money in the bank for us to do something, but I don't think we do it. I think we see how this year goes. I think we try to make the playoffs because we're still in a very, very tough division. It's going to be hard to make the playoffs still, even with our record.
NFC is loaded, bro. We're in the wild card right now, though. We're slotted there now.
Yeah, it's early, man. We got yeah, it's early. We got to keep winning. Our schedule's tough. Our schedule's tough with our division. So, we got to at least split the Packers, and we got to win. We got to steal one versus the Lions and the Vikings.
No, yeah.
I mean,
talk about the schedule, bro. So
to make the playoffs, that's what we're going to have to do. That's what's going to happen.
This is what we got coming up. We got Baltimore, the Bengals. The Bengals look decent. Joe Flacco looks solid. So that
Bengals 2 weeks ago, I was excited about that game. Bengals now,
not anymore.
Man, oh my goodness, that's going to be a tough. Is it at home or is it away?
It's away. Even the Giants, bro. The Giants look good. They just choked. They just choked against Denver, but I mean, they put
Giants are a frightening team because of their quarterback. Those two players, Scadaboo and Dark.
He doesn't care.
Just the energy that team has is scary.
Their defense is good.
We got some energy too. Well, we got some good momentum going our way as well, but that's just another scary team. It's going to be a fun game to watch.
Oh yeah, and then you got Minnesota, the Steelers. Rodgers is coming back to Soldier Field, November 23rd. Eagles, Black Friday, then Packers. The stretch to finish the season is tough, really. Last 3 games: Packers, 49ers, Lions. So yeah, we're gonna see how good we really are.
Hopefully, by that point, everything that we need fixed gets fixed. And oh man, I think we really have to. If we do sign anybody, it needs to be a corner because we're struggling at that particular position, staying healthy. I'll be honest, I really don't trust Deshaun Wright. I know he's a playmaker.
2 picks.
I think it's either feast or famine with him. We keep him out there, like he can change game. He can completely change games, but I've been a little vocal on Deshaun in terms of his fundamentals and just coverage, responsibilities, just basic coverage responsibilities. I think, we have to get somebody out there to help help with him and help complement at the cornerback position.
There's been some
'Cause
interest in polls. I think there's been some rumors. Are you how familiar are you with Tariq Woolen's game? Because that's somebody that the Bears could be interested in trading for. He's having a down year this year. They might trade him.
um, still a physical corner that I think we need. I think that, like I said, that'd be something that can help complement us.
And I mean, you look at Nashawn Wright, you move him more as to a, like kind of a secondary guy to come in, rotation guy, where as
Yeah.
opposed to him being the main guy opposite Tyreek.
Yeah, make it simple for him, like put him in the third and long positions where he doesn't have to think too much. He's a playmaker. We want him on the field, but at the end of the day, I don't think he's our every down guy.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Al Harris could cook with Tariq Woolen. Al Harris has been a phenomenal coach so far this season. We've seen him get the best out of every guy in that room right now.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think Woolen would be huge. Right now, what is how much of a shot do you give this Bears team in the NFC North right now as it stands? 4-2, 7 weeks in.
In the NFC North,
Yeah. How much of a shot you give them to compete, to like win it?
I'm still a Bears fan, man. I'm still gonna they're gonna be the hopeless Bears fan. So I think we have a good 30% chance to win the North. But it's gonna take everybody. It's gonna take it staying healthy too, which is a lot to ask in a long 18-week season. Um, it's gonna be tough, but we're on the right path. We're definitely on the right path. We're winning games. We're winning tough games. Um, and it's still like if we split with the Packers and went out with the Lions and the Vikings, can see it happening. We got to beat the Eagles.
Yeah. Which we could beat them. I think we got a shot. They looked good last week, but I think we got a shot.
The Niners.
Niners, yeah.
We're gonna need some magic to happen with Caleb. Caleb's got to.
He's got to go God
do
mode.
what he drafted and do what we drafted him for, and we've seen it. We've seen him do it. We've seen him be insanely accurate. We've seen him be, go Josh Allen mode. He's showing spurts of it. We just need that consistently, man. If we can get that consistently, we're going to be hard to beat.
Okay, yeah, I can see it too. I think 30% is pretty fair. That's right now what our percentage is to make the playoffs. I think it's like 38% right now. So we're in the right direction. Trey Hendrickson, I mean, I think that will help us win the division. But you have a hot take before we finish. A hot take on anything, whatever you're feeling. Don't have to be Bears.
I really like our momentum on the Bears, man. I think we can do some crazy things this year if we just play together.
Uh-huh. I'm trying to think what my hot take of the week would be. I don't know if Lamar plays or not this week, but if I'm gonna say the Chicago Bears beat a healthy Lamar Jackson this week. This defense, Roquan Smith is playing this week too. I think we get the upset.
Is it Chicago?
I
Is it in Chicago?
think it's at Baltimore. It's at the bank. Yeah, it's at Baltimore.
I do like our chances in that game. Lamar coming back off a hamstring, they said.
Yeah. He didn't practice Monday.
Hamstrings are tough, man. Think I like our chances in that game too. I don't think that's necessarily a crazy hot take the way the Ravens have been playing.
Yeah.
And Roquan's been banged up too.
They say he looked like Andrew Billings in a practice photo.
Yeah, his ass fucking all he does is fucking drink on weekends. I think.
So that'd be my hot take.
It's a good one. I mean, I don't know if we'll be favored in that game.
I think
Maybe
the
we
Ravens
will.
are. They're let's see what the percentage is right now.
Yeah, look at the percentages.
6.5.
Look at what they
6.5 right now. That the Ravens
They're
are.
6.5 favorites
It's kind of crazy. A little
for
disrespectful. Not
Lamar.
just playing.
A little disrespectful, especially since we're on a 4-game winning streak. I think Lamar is good, but he's coming off injury. Most players don't play well after coming off injuries, especially hamstring injuries. I guess my hot take would just be that we went out in the NFC North.
Okay.
Yeah.
So will we beat Green Bay twice, or we split with Green Bay and then went out?
I think that's completely and entirely possible given the way our offensive line has been playing
And
recently.
the Packers, I mean, they haven't looked that great. They're not the world beaters they were after the first 2 weeks.
They haven't looked like no, it's still the Packers,
They still,
and it's
yeah.
still a rivalry. It's still a matchup everybody has circled on the schedule every year. But I think we can definitely win at home, and we still won in Green Bay.
Yeah.
And the hardest thing for us, I think, is going to be to beat the Lions.
I think
Beating the Lions.
that's
We're
tougher
at
than the
home.
Packers, yeah. But we could get
We're
them.
at home. We could steal one versus the Lions, I think.
It's going to be cold, too. Jared Goff don't play well outside.
It's going to be cold. He does not play well outside.
So, anything can happen. What is that game? That's going to be January 4th. Last game.
It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold as fuck, and I don't think he's ever won in a cold game in Soldier. Could be wrong about that. I don't think he's ever beat us at Soldier when it's been cold.
Might have to stat muse that one, but hey, hot take. That game decides the division. Week 18. That's one of the best games of the final week.
That's a good hot take, I think.
That decides the division because Detroit, they got some tough games. They're winning these football games, but they're 5-2. We're 4-2. So, I mean, let me see who that games. They still have, the Rams. They still have, the Philly. I think they lose to the Rams and Philly. And if maybe, they lose to Green Bay.
Gauntlet. NFC is a gauntlet.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
anything can happen.
It is tough. I mean, you walk in versus even the average teams like, Commander. I mean, Commander's a little bit above average, but Giants,
Cowboys. That offense has been looking great lately. I mean, they could.
Yeah, I'm surprised we still get a win versus them. I mean,
and they played terrible too against us. Offensively,
horrible. Yeah, no, there's a lot of good teams in the NFC. Eagles, you name it. Tampa Bay, Tampa Bay is a really good team who wins close games.
Game-winning drives, but Baker,
very, very tough team to play. Is going to be a very tough team to play against. Yeah, there's a lot of options. Variables that could come into play here with the NFC because not everybody. I mean, I think that the teams that end up coming out of the NFC, the top teams, all of them are going to have 3+, 4+ losses.
Yeah,
the way the NFC
wild card. You might even have to have 12 wins, 11 wins to get into the wild card. How this division, how this conference is looking. So Bears got to get to work.
It's going to be evened out. I mean, yeah, it's going to be tough. The NFC is not like the AFC. Teams like the Chiefs are going to have good records. And
Colts right now, I mean,
Colts are going to be very, very. I think they only have one loss. They might lose one or two more games the rest of the year because the way they've been playing has been phenomenal. We saw that game versus the Chargers and Colts. That was a hell of a game. Who do you think wins this weekend or this Thursday? Chargers or Vikings?
Chargers. Carson Wentz puts up another stinker.
Yeah. Carson is still a competent quarterback. He's still out there. And
I hope they keep him out there over JJ, bro.
JJ would be a worse option. He needs more development.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. They said, I mean, he practiced all week, and then they're like, he's not ready to go yet. That's a silent bench.
And yeah, it's a silent bench for sure.
But I appreciate you for coming on. That's all we got for the show today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to check out 6-Man Blitz, close to 1K. Like and subscribe on that. Check out Chi-Town Blitz too if you haven't liked and subscribe on that. But yeah, best content you need, exactly how you want to deliver it. We got it for you. Thank you guys for watching. As always, peace. But I would want him to get an extension done with, Keenan Allen. I would want him to stay with the Chicago Bears for maybe 2 or 3 more years because he's coming off his best season last year with the Chargers.